Hi, and welcome to Live with Louise. Today I want to answer a question. Michelle from Rhode Island sent me a question about her relationship. And before I start with answering the question, I want to thank you. I want to leave this video because I'm starting to blah, 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 blah. Okay, before I answer the question, I want to inform you that starting this coming Friday, I'm going to do a Q&A Friday. So it's going to be called Q&A Fridays. And each Friday I will have a question from someone that I will answer live. So the question from Michelle is this, and I took a few notes here. So Michelle tells me that she's been married with a recovering alcoholic for 5 years, and that despite all his promises and despite all his, him wanting to straighten himself up, and it's not happening. So he keeps having relapse. And he keeps drinking again, and she's really angry now and she doesn't know what to do. So she's asking me, okay, what do you think? And, how should I address that? Well, first off, I want to tell everybody here, and Michelle as well, that I don't have any grudge against alcoholic, and I'm fine with alcoholics who are taking care of themselves. And it is not easy. It's high maintenance when you are an alcoholic and you have to maintain your lifestyle. So they have to find a sponsor. They have to read the Blue Book every day. They have to implement these 12 steps, right? They have to go to a meeting and they have to do some form of therapy. And often, they have to deal with depression as well. So all that all together, imagine if you or I would have to deal with something like that. It takes quite a discipline to to do all these things. So my question to Michelle is this, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, it's not the purpose of this video. It is not who I am, and I like to be factual. Now, what gives me the right or the credit to answer that question? Well, many things, but one of them is I was married to a recovering alcoholic for 8 years. So I know exactly what you're going through, Michelle, except that, my ex-husband Brian was not relapsing. He never relapsed. However, he never implemented anything. So he was giving me a lip service kind of thing, right? So, and if they're not taking care of themselves, well, it's really a bad scene, okay? It's a bad movie. So, the number one question that I would like you to answer and to ask yourself, really honestly, right, like I did, are you willing? Do you have to do this Al-Anon meeting or any form of meetings every week for the rest of your life because you're married to a recovering alcoholic? Because this is what you're going to have to do, right? That's the reality of this lifestyle. Ask yourself this question and be very honest with your answer, okay? Do I want to have to do meetings every week because I have a relationship with a recovering alcoholic? When I sat down and asked myself that, very honestly, my answer was, no, I don't want to. And really honestly, I never had answered myself that question before. And of course, I was lacking a lot of information about, how they need to maintain themselves. And that's just how it is. And they know that. They know how much maintenance that it is. they will be the first one to tell you. They're not hiding anything. They know what they have to do. And so for that, you have to understand who you are with. And, you cannot blame him, okay? I know it sounds, like, well, Louise, how can you say that? You've been married to one, and, he does this to me, he does that to me, he does this to me. But he has a condition, right? And the condition is chemical. And there's hard science behind that. So it's not just, a question of laziness. It's just not a question of, well, that's because he wants to drink, or there is an imbalance, a chemical imbalance in their bloodstream. So where was I? Yeah, I was at the question. And when I answer my own question, and I'm sure that people who are doing Al-Anon here will just be, hitting the roof. Guys, we don't have to do Al-Anon if we don't want to, okay? If you are having a relationship, if you are married with someone in AA, you have to do meetings in Al-Anon, okay? So we understand each other, Michelle, and that is just how it is. So ask yourself, do I want to do that as long as I'm going to be with Robert? That's a commitment, that has an implication. My answer was no, and that woke me up, kind of, it woke me up, and I thought, oh my gosh, what am I doing here, right? And all of the pieces came together. And I started, to be able to start forgiving Brian, because your husband is where he is because of what he is. And to be with him, you have absolutely to come to the realization of what it will take from you. First of all, it's not just to do meetings, but you're going to need a sponsor as well. And you're going to have to implement these 12 steps and do all the steps that are required. And this is not a complaint, okay? This is factual. Anyone in the program that is looking at me right now and hearing me, they know that I'm right. They cannot come or comment and say, no, we don't have to do that. Well, yes, you do. Because I'm not a recovering alcoholic, okay? I'm not a recovering drug addict. I am a recovering emotional emotional affected person, because I was exposed to that a lot. Another question I want you to ask yourself, okay, is, hi sweetie, how are you? Do you have issues with alcoholism around you? Because that's what I'm talking about today. I had a question from Michelle, and Michelle has been married to an alcoholic for 5 years, and she's really not having a good time. So I'm going to continue where I was. Is the other question, Michelle, that I want you to ask is, do I want to be part of this, this maintenance? Do I want to have to go to these meetings? And is there something in this relationship that is a repeat, that is a emotional replay? Now, don't come to me with something like, oh yeah, I had a relationship with 4 alcoholics before. It seems that everybody that has an issue with alcoholics, they gravitate around me. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something deeper than that. I'm looking for an emotional repeat. And I will give you my common denominator. As I was asking myself this question, I was asking, what's the common denominator here? What is the common denominator? Well, it was an emotional common denominator. I felt unstable. I felt insecure. I had fear. Brian was totally unpredictable, so I never knew what conditioning was going to come in. I didn't feel I was on solid ground, and that was exactly the experience that I had from the age of 8 until the age of 25. So there's a blueprint over there. There is a blueprint. It's much deeper than said my parents were alcoholics, or it's much deeper than that. It's a deep, ingrained emotional baggage that doesn't leave you. And that is so powerful that it makes that you do attract that partner, that kind of partner. And the reason we keep them, it's a lack of information. It doesn't matter the blueprint once you understand how it works, what works, right? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the hearts and everything. Thank you. It doesn't matter, that what matters is that you understand the name of that game. And the name of that game is, if you are with a recovering alcoholic or a recovering cocaine addict, it's the same thing. They have to be committed to their program. It's not just a little program. It's a lot for them, right? They need a sponsor again. They need to read the blue book of every day. They have to read that. They have to implement their 12-step spiritual practice. They have to go to the meetings. They have to do a form of therapy because all of them are suffering from a level of depression. It is not their fault. Now, it doesn't excuse, it doesn't justify, it doesn't excuse what they do, what they say, how they say it, their unpredictability, their irresponsible personality. It doesn't excuse that. But it's part of their baggage. It's part of having this chemical imbalance in their blood, because it is, I repeat, because I'm factual here, it is a chemical imbalance in their blood, men and women. So, another thing I would like to tell you too is no matter how they are, they deserve to be happy with a partner. They deserve to be happy with a partner. And the best thing you can do for them is to set them free. Don't stay there giving them a hard time, telling them, that they're assholes and, they're responsible, they never keep up with their words. You will repeat that until you turn purple in your face. At some point, you have to come to the realization that you are not the partner for them. Thank you for all the hearts. It's so sweet. That's it. And there's no other thing, right? You can come to me and explain to me, well, the other day this happened. Hi, Dawn. How are you, sweetie? This other day he did that. This other day, he left for 2-3 days. I know, I understand that. But the bottom line, really the bottom line, if we want to solve that in 15 minutes, the bottom line is, do you want to be with someone where you have to do meetings every week? Okay, where you need a sponsor. Where are you going to have to do this 12-step? Now, I'm not saying that journeying is not good. I still journey, right? But I don't do this 12 steps. I do seminars. I do other things. I do other things that are not creating a lot of anxiety in me. See? So, but it's a question of choice. And at some point, if you say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm done with these meetings, actually. I never said it to anybody, but you know what, Louise, since you're raising the question now, good God, you make me think, no, I don't want to go there. And second, is there a common denominator between the emotional insecurities, fear, instability that you feel now and what you felt when you were around mom and dad or friends, or especially in the house, right? Because research these days, right? They say genetic research that we're not victim of our genes. We are no victim of our genes. We are at the mercy of the environment, and we have hypnotic conditioning. And I will come on that topic. Thanks be to God in this day and age, because of the information we have on the internet. And of course, women, we're attracted to that, right? Inner growth, expanding our consciousness, and all that kind, all these topics. Men are less attracted to that. But again, alcoholics, they do their journey. They actually do their journey. Some of them don't. Well, if they don't, I had a husband, an ex-husband, who was giving me lip service, meaning he could have quoted me the Blue Book. He could have quoted me the 12 steps. He could quote me all kinds of wonderful consciousness principles, but he didn't implement anything. None. None. He could hardly go to a meeting. So, of course, he became not very nice to be around. So, and that, as Dawn says, that's a sad fact, and it's a fact. Now, you're going to say, but Louise, how am I going to get out of this? Well, that's exactly the question I was asking myself as well. How the heck am I going to get out of that thing? Once you wake up to all that, and the information came so fast, and I thought, what have I done? Okay, because first of all, I said yes to this altar. Okay, nobody broke my arm to do that. I did. If I would have known the implication of having a husband that has this condition, well then, I would probably have just passed, because and again, they deserve a partner. In my opinion, they deserve a partner who are in the program with them, or, someone that is involved in, this kind of journey. They do deserve that, and they have to have that. Just for them to go out with, regular Jane, or for a man, for a woman, regular John, they can't. It's not going to be good. Some of them over there, they've been married 4 and 5 times. So they have, they think they have some social issues. Well, I say that's because there's a problem in choosing a partner, and also a big lack of information in the partner that they choose. Of course, it's a little embarrassing just to, when you're courting and you're starting lining up everything you have to do, right, so that your mind is straightened up. So, if you guys have a question around that topic, please put it out there. I'll be happy to continue this discussion with you. But to close the topic, that's basically it. Michelle, ask yourself 2 questions and listen to the list of what they have to do to maintain their life, to live, a lifestyle that is healthy, and look at what you have to do as well with Al-Anon, with a sponsor, with, therapy. Probably, he's going to drive you crazy, but that's another story. That's more personal. Email me and we'll talk about it. Do you end up being angry at them? Oh, darn, yes. Oh, I was so angry. I thought I was going to put him in my microwave oven. Okay? We gather a lot of anger. I had panic attacks. I didn't feel good at all until I woke up. And when I woke up, I thought, well, I'm just not in the good scene. And you will be able to pave the way to forgive him. You will be able to do that. Once you're going to understand the implication, of course, answer this question. Do you want to do that or not? Don't be shy. If it's no, don't be shy. It doesn't mean that, you don't need Al-Anon, or It doesn't mean that you don't need your own therapy, or it doesn't mean anything. We all need therapy. It only means that this kind of therapy doesn't interest you. And you deserve to be happy, my darling. You deserve to have a partner with whom you're going to thrive, you're going to have fun, right? And you guys will be on the same page. And you know, I'm remarried right now. And my husband that I have now, he had a marriage with a recovering alcoholic, but she was very, very active. So we met each other, except that he had a similar experience that I had. And, you know, he's a very nice lawyer and he is financially stable, trust me, okay? Because my standards, I'm telling you guys, okay, your standards, you have to look at these standards to begin with. Because I had a darn cold shower on my head, right? Standards changed very quickly when I got out of this marriage, right? And I'm not a gold digger, but good God, I deserve the best if I'm going to be in a relationship. And don't forget, these partners that we married, and that goes for men too, they're going to live under our roof. That's a different deal than to have, you know, someone that lives next door and they have all kinds of issues. Well, you know, it doesn't matter. You just walk by the door and you just say, hi, Jack, hi, Jane, and you don't have these people living with you. When you have someone that lives underneath your roof, if you're not ready, if you do not want to do what you need to do to live with a recovering alcoholic, you have to go. You have to go, because you're going to be so miserable. You're going to say, yeah, but I love him so much. No, you're going to have to look at that. You're going to have to look at that love, because they're very sweet. And I'm not making this up. They're really, really sweet. Now, we're not talking about the crazies, okay? Because they are crazies and they're not even in AA. So, you know what I'm saying. We're talking about just, you know, the regular guy. So, this is it. That's going to be it for today. Again, starting this coming Friday, I will answer questions. And the questions will be coming in my email. And I will give you my email now. It is info, as in information. So put that in your phone or on a piece of paper, and then you can put it in your phone. Info, INFO, at louisegrogan.com. So send me your questions. I will choose a question, one or two, depending on how much time I have. And I will bring the question in to our group here, and we will talk about it if you are inclined to talk to Louise. So I think it was a good topic today, and it is a question that comes to me often, and from my experience, and it's more, I will tell you, it's more than an experience I had. I had an insight, and I really saw the reality of that, and it's not their fault, okay? You cannot blame them. Now, if they're violent, of course, right, you get out. But other than that, they have a condition, and there are conditions to have a relationship with these people. I don't like to say these people, right? I mean, with someone who has this condition. So, I bless you, I love you, and I will come back tomorrow with a different topic. God bless you all. Ciao.